All right, let's talk about money, but maybe not in the way you're used to. What if I told you there's an actual playbook for your financial life? And I'm not talking about a few tips here and there. I mean a real step-by-step guide to completely rewire how you think about money and how you build wealth. Well, today we're cracking open that playbook. So let's just kick things off with this one big idea. What if the thing that's really holding you back from being wealthy has nothing to do with your paycheck? What if it's all about the software, the blueprint, running inside your own head? That's the big question we're going to dig into. Okay, so here's our game plan. It's broken down into 4 parts. First up, we're rewiring your financial brain. Then we'll get into building value from, well, nothing. After that, we're going to master that one secret number that kind of governs your financial life. And finally, we'll put your money to work. Sound good? Let's get into it. All right, part 1, rewiring your financial brain. They call it the invisible battle for wealth, and for good reason. Because you know what? Before you can ever win out there in the real world, you've got to win the battle that's happening right between your ears. And this really gets to the heart of it. It's not your salary that's keeping you broke. It really is your mindset. I mean, think about it. You can have 2 people making the exact same salary. One ends up building incredible wealth, and the other one is just drowning in debt. The paycheck is the same, so what's the difference? It's the mindset. That is the hidden code right there. And it can be as simple as the words you use. Seriously, look at this. The scarcity mindset, the one that keeps people stuck. It says, I can't afford that, and that's it. Conversation over, it's a dead end. But the abundance mindset, it asks a question. How can I afford that? See the difference? That little shift turns a brick wall into a doorway. It's a starting point. And as soon as you start asking how, you quickly realize the answer is not just working more hours. That's a trap. Naval Ravikant said it perfectly. You're not going to get rich renting out your time. Real financial freedom, that comes from owning equity, owning a piece of a business, an asset that's out there working for you, even when you're not. Okay, so you've got the mindset shift down. Awesome. Now what? Now we build. That brings us to part 2, building value from nothing. This is the Bootstrap Success model, and it's all about proving that old saying wrong. You actually don't need money to make money. So here it is, the no capital launch plan. It's 5 simple steps. Step 1, you validate your idea. Just make sure people actually want what you're thinking of building. Step 2, you leverage free resources. All the tools you need are out there. Step 3, build your brand. Step 4, network like crazy. And 5, form strategic partnerships. The best part? The cost is $0. It just costs you effort. And look, to make this super concrete, here are 3 businesses you could literally have up and running in the next 48 hours. Seriously. Got a skill? Offer it up on a freelance platform like Upwork or Fiverr. Bam, you're in business. Or how about drop shipping? You can set up a Shopify store and the suppliers handle all the inventory. You don't have to touch a thing. Or maybe you like creating content. Start a blog or a YouTube channel and do affiliate marketing. You just promote products you believe in and get a commission. See? No excuses, just action. All right, you're building value, you're making moves. But to really level up, to play the bigger financial game and get access to things like loans and capital, you have to know the rules. And believe me, the most important rule of the game is governed by this one little secret number. And that's what we're talking about in part 3, mastering your financial score. So what is this score? The easiest way to think about it is like this. Your credit score is basically your financial report card, and it secretly decides a lot about your life. It's this one number that lenders, landlords, sometimes even employers look at to decide if you are reliable. A good score, well, that opens doors. It saves you thousands of dollars. A bad score? It slams those doors right in your face. So how is this thing even calculated? It seems complicated, but it's not. Take a look at this chart. There's a lot going on, but just forget everything else for a second and look at the 2 biggest slices of the pie. 35% is your payment history. In other words, do you pay your bills on time? And 30% is your credit utilization. If you can just get these 2 things right, you've pretty much won the game. Okay, let's zoom in on that second biggest piece because it's super important and a lot of people don't get it. Credit utilization. All that means is the percentage of your available credit that you're actually using. So if you have a $10,000 limit and a $3,000 balance, your utilization is 30%. And that 30% number is key. You want to keep it below that. Why? Because when it gets high, it's a huge red flag to lenders. It looks like you're stretched thin. Keeping it low is one of the absolute fastest ways to boost your score. And that brings us to the final piece of the playbook,
And honestly, this is the most powerful part of all. You've got the mindset right, you're building value, your financial score is solid. Now, now it's time for the big shift. We're going to go from just earning money to growing money. It's time to put your money to work.
A lot of us think that saving money is how you build wealth, but they are not the same thing. Not even close. Saving, it's like running on a treadmill. Yeah, you're working hard, you're sweating, but you're not actually going anywhere. Inflation is making sure of that. Investing, though, that's a whole different game. That's where every single dollar you have becomes a tiny employee that you send out into the world to bring back friends. And if you need to see it to believe it, look at this chart. This makes it so clear. That first bar, that's your savings account. Maybe it's earning, what, 2%? Okay. But then look at the second bar, inflation. Let's say it's at 6%. You're losing 4% of your money's buying power every single year. You're going backwards. Now look at that third bar. That's a simple index fund, basically just a basket of the biggest companies. Historically, it's returned around 8%. See? You're not just keeping up with inflation, you're blowing past it. You're actually growing. So, how do you actually do this? How do you harness this incredible power? Well, here's the secret. It's not about picking the one magic stock that's going to explode. It's not about winning the lottery. The most powerful force in the entire universe when it comes to building wealth is so much simpler than that. It's just consistency. Let me make this real for you. Let's talk about $10. Just $10. What's that? A fancy coffee and a pastry? A lunch you could have packed? A streaming service you forgot you were paying for? It's a small, totally manageable amount to find every day. So what happens to that $10 a day? What does it become? Well, if you invest it every day for 30 years at an average return of 8%, it turns into $450,000. No, that's not a typo. Nearly $500,000. That's not magic. That is just math. That is the raw, unbelievable power of compounding. They say Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. And this quote from him just nails it. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. And that's the truth. It's a force that's always working. The only question is it working for you through investing, or is it working against you through credit card debt? The choice is totally yours. So look, if you only remember one thing about investing from all of this, please let it be this right here. Stop trying to be a genius. Don't try to predict when the market is going to go up or down. Nobody can do that consistently. The data is so clear on this. Your time in the market is infinitely more important than trying to time the market. Just get in and stay in. Consistency wins, period. And there you have it. That's the playbook. You now have the blueprint. You know how to rewire your brain for wealth, how to build something from nothing, how to master your financial score, and how to put your money to work for you. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it? What is the one single action you're going to take in the next 48 hours to start building?